In the previous video, I was talking about some economics and why transactions are mutually beneficial and why the government is running out of money. And I wanted to now stretch it a little bit further on the nature of a business. And that wants to go basically, why do you start a business, and a little bit connected to purpose. So when you have a business, when you start a business, you want to fulfill a certain purpose. If you are a business, a restaurant, then you want to make food, solve people's hunger. And if you are a service company, you want to solve other problems. If you want to sell coffee, you want to solve people's need for coffee. Now, this purpose basically is the outcome of your business, and with every business there are several ways to get there, which is a good thing because you can always innovate and find more creative and efficient ways to get there. So for transportation, you can walk on foot. So if you sell shoes, you are in the business of transportation, but you are as well if you have a plane company or you sell cars or helicopters, and also transportation company. So if you start a business and you see a problem, you want to start with a problem first, or maybe let's just say one step even more ahead of that is you want to start first with the people that you want to serve. You don't have to solve problems for everyone, and as a business owner probably it's more fun if you start looking at people that you actually like, that you actually want to help. So maybe you don't want to help everyone, you want to say also, hey, I don't want to help those people, I don't care about them, but hey, those people, those are nice. And then you can clearly define your group, be racist and classicist as much as you want, and then say, hey, I want to solve a problem for them. And then you look at the problems that they have, you look at what actions that they do, what needs they have, and you then go ahead and look maybe how can this be solved. What are the biggest problems? You with your list of problems, you make a list of it, and you see what's the most important one, or is there maybe a chain of problems? So they have this problem, but they have only this problem because of this problem, and then this problem. And then with this you come to a problem that you like, that also fits to your skills. So not only do you have to like the people that you have, but also you have to know what you're able to do, what your skills are, what your inclinations are. And I took another video about purpose where I go a little bit onto that. But you always want to keep in mind that you are solving the problems, and so you have to find something that you're actually able to solve. So you find a problem that you solve, and then you go towards a solution. So many inventors, they come up with solutions all the time, but then you have to find this problem, the right problem for their solution. Which is sad, many solutions are very, very nice, very, very good, but if you don't have if you have to make up a problem for that, then that's just making it more difficult. So when you develop the solution for the problem, it's first just a concept. So you want to think about, okay, what would be the perfect output, the perfect outcome for your client, your customer, for dealing with your business to solve his problem. And what you can then do is you go back from there and see what you have to do to get him there. And And it starts obviously with advertising, with having a brand, and for signaling that you can solve the problem, that you have a business about solving this problem, that you're talking to these kind of people that we already talked about a few minutes earlier. And then you have to step for step, how do we give him, like, from making him aware of it and then getting him to the problem. So with marketing, like right now, I see a lot of people that are talking all about getting clients and getting leads. And I find this very funny because most people that talk about this are marketers, and basically their outcome for their clients is that they get leads. But the job for the most businesses then starts when they get leads. So marketers, basically the business is making people aware of the problem and getting them in, and ends basically when the lead is delivered. But for the business is basically, the lead comes in and then starts a real business. And so with a lot of those marketers and people telling about it, they leave out all that. So with that said, you want to have basically this journey, how to get to the solution, and you can separate this into different steps, obviously. You have the outcome, then you separate in different steps. Then for the different steps, you have the deliverables. Oh, sorry for my English. What needs to be done in a certain step, what has to transform there, and how can you measure that the step was successful. And if you have a list of defined steps, then you can go and make it more fluent, and also have a tracking that you can do. So with most businesses, they come up with that, they start working, and then they get people to help them, they get like work packages, and then it naturally aligns that you get like some kind of process. And especially with older businesses, or maybe it's a normal business, if you have just a company, a normal one where people work 40 hours a week or 35 and come to office, they analyzed that and they saw that 80% of those steps are waste. And I think I talked about waste earlier before, but yeah, waste is everything that first of all is not value, and waste is every task that you have to repeat. So if you do not do it right in the first time, and then you have to go back and call the client again and ask them if you understood right, and then the previous call was complete waste. You could have just finished it all off in the first try. Yeah. So most of the businesses, they do this automatically, and curiously, well, at the beginning you don't really know what the steps are, right? So what you have to do is then maybe that you always know what the outcome has to be, what your inputs are, and that you have in mind that your business is a process where you go from input to output, and the output is your purpose in the business to get to that goal for your client, to solve a certain problem, and then from that out to have the funnel and then find the best way how to go straight or maybe in circles, or yeah, whatever is best for your business. And yeah, and if you see a business like that, then maybe it's a little bit easier to improve it. You know the steps, and if you can separate it into steps, you can separate it into work tasks. If you have the work tasks, then you can either get people to do those single tasks. So you can make work packages, you know, okay, you get exactly this in, and the next step needs exactly this. You can define this clearly so the person knows always what's going on. And if you then also signify, okay, what the business is overall doing, so you need to also always, for all your people, signify what is the purpose of the business. So if you tell a worker or one of your employees or freelancer that you have to write an article, then it first of all is important for the guy to know what the next person in the cycle needs, but it's also important for the person to know what the overall goal is. First of all, it's important for guiding the person. Not that it's like out of mind, but for guiding the small decisions of the person, so he doesn't have to ask all the time. If the person wants to improve something, then because then it's like in a small time, it's to make his job easier, obviously, which is good, but only if the person also knows what the goal of the company is. So, and if the person knows that if I improve this in my small box, I know, okay, that makes it easier for me. But if the person also could say, hey, and that would also get us to the purpose faster, then you have a win-win. And then basically there are no rarely arguments that speak against that improvement to make his job easier, because it also is a benefit for the end goal, for the whole company. And that's why it's important to start to have the purpose of your business down. Yeah, if you want to define your business or talk about that with me, and feel free to reach out. Bye.